Not too long ago, I gave a searing condemnation about Best Buy's credit card, and I used it as a case study to warn you guys to the dangers and pitfalls of retail credit cards in general. However, that's not to say that retail cards all necessarily have to be bad, as there are a few that make sense to even have as a daily driver outside the retailer. In this video today, I'll go over a group of retail cards that stand well on their own as credit cards themselves. What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Before we jump into the video topic, I would appreciate if you could hit the like button down below, subscribe, and turn on notifications to help me beat the YouTube algorithm. There's definitely a whole wide world of credit cards from retailers that you shouldn't get, and I generally tell you to decline when the cashier asked. I still stand by that advice wholeheartedly because credit cards aren't something that you should simply impulse buy. This is not some kind of candy bar that you get on your way out of the store. This is a reason why YouTube channels like mine exist. These credit cards should be researched and thought about to make sure that the card is a good fit for you. So before we talk about whether a credit card is good or bad, we need to talk about what makes a credit card good. And I will be the first to admit that there isn't really a hard line in the sand that we can draw to make sure a credit card is good or bad. That would make things incredibly simple. Even though the definition of good is subjective, I think we can all look at things like the rewards multiplier, currency, and ease of use to see if the card is a good fit for us. So the rewards multiplier is definitely easy to understand. Higher the number is, the better it is. And when it comes to currency and ease of use, it becomes a little bit more subjective. Generally for retail cards, you get more value when you shop at that retailer more. This is because the rewards become easier to use even if the rewards currency is something you could only spend at that retailer. Of course, my favorite currency from a retail card is straight up cash back, since you can use that anywhere. Though sometimes there may be minimum redemptions to keep an eye out for. So if this retail card is only really good at this retailer and you need to spend a certain amount of money at this retailer to make it worth it, then maybe it might not be a good idea to keep this card. Rewards that are inaccessible are not rewards at all. Some retail cards also come with certain benefits like extended warranties, financing offers, or some kind of loyalty status that you get with the retail. Some of these cards even offer certain travel benefits. I do urge caution with some of these benefits and make sure you read the fine print, especially for financing offers, as I stated in my previous video. However, if you can get through this thought process and think to yourself, well, this card could work for me, then it's a good card. So let me go through a few retail cards that in my opinion qualify as a good credit card. Now the first two cards on the list is the Lowe's and Target credit cards. And I'm grouping these two cards together because of a very similar benefit. Both of these cards offer the customer a $5 store discount when using this card. And this to me is the best type of reward because the reward is instantaneous and technically in the form of cash. The downside to these credit cards is that these credit cards aren't really useful anywhere else. But that doesn't really matter all that much because you get the rewards up front anyway. And so I recommend you getting these two cards even if you don't shop at these retailers very often. Being able to get a 5% discount on your purchase when you need it is actually pretty good. The next card on the list is the Walmart credit card. This card gives you 5% back on all Walmart.com purchases in the form of points that can be redeemed as a statement credit. In other words, it also gives you cash back. This card also has no foreign transaction fees and gives you access to the Capital One travel portal. This card also gives you 2% cash back for travel and gas stations. However, I think 2% categories are kind of useless considering that there are quite a number of 2% non-category cards out there. Nonetheless, if you shop at Walmart, this is actually a pretty good deal and will get you a good amount back for your daily spending. Another card that also comes to mind is the Costco Anywhere Visa card. And this card strikes me as a card that works like any other bank card, with the one caveat that you need to be a Costco member. For me and a lot of others, this isn't really a big deal because I plan to have a Costco membership anyway because Costco's are a great place to get gas. And this card honestly gives better rewards in other categories than it does for Costco. So for example, you get 4% back on gas, you get 3% back on dining, you get 3% back in travel, but only 2% back in Costco. Still though, I think another caveat to this card is that the rewards can only be redeemed at the end of the year. So unlike a lot of other credit cards, you actually have to go into the store to get your reward in the form of cash. You literally have to walk up to the cashier and they will give you a wad of cash. The last card on the list is the Apple card. And this is an interesting card in the sense that it is a metal titanium credit card and you should never use it. And by it, I mean the actual physical card. This card offers 3% cash back on Apple Store purchases and 2% cash back on Apple Pay. And it will give you 1% cash back when you use the physical card. It also allows you to finance purchases like the iPhone for 24 months and therefore give you the same monthly payments as the Apple Upgrade program, which helps people that don't use big carriers that prefer to use prepaid carriers like Google Fi. However, the downside of this card is that you do need an iPhone to manage the card. This is definitely not an exhaustive list, and if you can think of any other credit cards that work well, please let me know in the comments down below. Until next time, I'm gonna go out there and get some free stuff.